Greetings and welcome back, Luminaries. This episode is brought to you by New Body Products by Dr. Paul Goss. You can find these wonderful products, herbs that I've used for at least 30 years now, at tamshealthykitchen.com. Greetings, Luminaries. This is Tam, and I'm back with just a thought that has been floating around in my mind. I think it's a download that Spirit has been putting on my heart to share. You know, with all that's going on, we do have to consider that everything has an evolutionary process or a lifespan, life cycle. There's always a beginning, a middle, and an end to everything that has shape and form, especially sentient beings, and especially groups, families, nations, clans, our entire world that is made up of sentient beings is going to reflect our developmental stages and processes. We look at in child psychology, we look at Piaget, we look at Erickson. They look at the development of the child as starting with very primal or primordial behaviors and then becoming more and more sophisticated as the child develops. Now, because nations are made up of people who are moving through different stages of development, of course, the entity called the nation or the group is also going to reflect that. And it's also going to demonstrate a lot of the human propensities, as we can see that humans have a way of subjugating one another. We've seen it with slavery. We've seen it with domination in families. We see it with bullying. All these things are just manifestations of our developmental processes. So the good news is that we can develop beyond where we are right now. And so we do need to see the opportunities in that and also take advantage of them by being cognizant of these behaviors within ourselves and making the choice, making the decision as sentient beings to choose a higher level or vibration of being. And that starts with how we are dealing with ourselves and perceiving ourselves in the world. And then next, with those who are closest to us and the people who we interact with on a day-to-day basis at work, our clients, the people that we purchase from on the marketplace, all the things that we do in society. We do have to make sure that we are operating in the highest evolutionary aspect that we can. And also, since we are beings that are influenced by our surroundings, very much so, we look at how we begin to look like a mate that we've lived with for 50 years. We start to become one another, if you will. And what that is speaking to is the fact that whatever we are in vibratory frequency with, whatever we are hanging out with, there is an entrainment that begins to happen. We begin to become like. Our vibrational frequencies begin to sync up together. And that's what that's all about. It is just a natural evolutionary process, a developmental process that is in increments and moment by moment that we can observe. So it's super important what we are putting in our environments. What are we spending our time focusing on? What are we consuming, if you will, as far as media and entertainment? All of that is educating our thought processes, if you will. All of that is entraining us to behave in certain ways. So you want to be careful of what you're reading and what you are watching. That is your diet, your mental diet, if you will, your spiritual diet, beyond the physical food. You extract nutrition from what you're eating, and your body actually becomes that. Those foods that you eat, the orange that you ate last night, has become one with you, and it's a part of who you are right now. So begin to think about what you are consuming. There's so many choices of what we can consume in our diet. And yes, assume. We do tend to assume the properties, the propensities, the energies of whatever it is we are spending time with and focusing on. So we get to choose. And even though a lot of the things that we are paying attention to are real, yes, they are what's real in the world. However, we get to decide what we want to give our energy to, because whatever it is that we are giving our energy to, it is what we are becoming. And you can hang out in what's real. Those are facts of things that you see in the world. But you have to begin to identify what it is that you want to vibrate with and become. It's kind of a hard thing for a lot of people because people want to just focus on what is. But if you notice in the world, the people who have been most successful in changing things and improving things have stepped out of the box of the facts. And we begin to create from another space, a higher space of what we actually desire to see in the world. And we've seen the quotes, that speak about being the change that you want to see in the world. And we all have a great responsibility in that. We can look back in history and we can see those people who demonstrated a shift, who actually propelled a shift because they did step out of the reality that was going on in the time. And we can be that. Each and every one of us can be the positive change that's needed. Now, it doesn't mean that we ignore what's going on. Oh, no. We know that it's there. We recognize it. But the question is do you want to be swept away in what is going on, in the facts of the world? Or do we want to revise them to better facts that will become the future? I, for myself, and certainly I can only speak for me and what I am choosing to do, I'm choosing to create anew. I want to create a better world than what we're seeing for our children and our posterity, if you will, that they can live in a world where that is a system that's going to be in place, and there always has to be a system, a new system that actually works for everyone and not just for a few people, a system that is free of nepotism and racism and sexism and all the other isms that create division. Certainly, we are here on this planet together, and until we are creating off-planet societies, this is all we got right now. And so we get to be a part of a positive change, or we get to be a part of what is the status quo that definitely ain't working. And so that's my little spiel for today. Just wanted to share that and put something on your mind so that you can decide to use that divine power that's within you to do great things by deciding. It all begins with a decision. You got to decide to be that change. Then you can begin to see it. Then you begin to experience it and feel it. And then pretty soon, as you are walking that walk and talking that talk of the change that you desire, it becomes your experience in the world. Yeah. And that's my spiel for today. That was my download. Oh, and you might be looking at my hair and noticing that my hair has changed. Yes, it has. I have been a person with white hair for a very long time. I think in my late 20s was when I first started to notice that all across the front of my face was white. And back then, I decided to lighten it. So, yes, I was blonde for a while, trying to blend out the white hair because I wasn't ready for it. And then, after a time, like what I've been doing most recently, is using a darker color to darken those white strands. And so, been trying to decide what to do, noticing that it's coming in quicker and it's coming in a lot more, that maybe I don't want to fight it anymore. Maybe I don't want to keep putting those toxic chemicals on my skin and allowing them to absorb into my system. And so when you make a decision, oftentimes we can become paralyzed and we will stay with what we've been doing simply because it is easiest. But when we make a decision, we can be stuck in making that decision because we're just not sure if we're going to like what we are, what the new thing is. Um, we're not sure what the ramifications are going to be. We're not sure if other people will like it. We don't know what the change is going to bring for us in our lives. And so we stay put where we are. Well, just like my hair, I have put in these extensions of silver mixed hair and just decided to try it out to see if it's something that is going to become me, or maybe just to feel it and see what it's going to look like for me so that I can become comfortable with it, because it is what it is. Those white hairs are always going to be with me, and there's nothing that I can do about that. And I don't know if they come up with a pill that can actually turn my hair back to its original color. I don't know if I would want to take it. I would imagine it would have a lot of chemicals in it and unnecessary side effects. So, interesting that this demonstrates that whole idea of decision making. You know, that when we get paralyzed, what we can do, and what I do with my clients and beyond hypnosis, is you get to try it on for size to see if you will like it, so that you can make that decision to actually experience it before you commit. You know, the whole thing in marketing, you try it before you buy it. You get to do a test drive, a dry run, if you will. And what that does is create a comfort within you. And in Beyond Hypnosis, I do this with the hypnotic process of guiding the individual through the process of a decision. One decision that you got to nail down in that very moment, and you move through the process, actually experiencing it, using the powers of visualization to see it, to feel it, to smell it, to taste it, to experience the reactions of others, to see the world through the eyes of this person who has made this particular decision. And it's very, very helpful. And it helps to remove that feeling of fear around a change. As you know, change is always hard. It's one of the hardest things in the human life, is a change from what is comfortable and what I know. Even though a change might be what we need, and we know that we are tired of and unhappy with what is going on right now, that we do need a change. But sometimes, again, we just can't make that change because we don't know. The unknown is so scary. So, guided imagery in Beyond Hypnosis helps the person to actually feel it, to actually be there before they make that choice. Even each time listening, the person can, in an open-ended session, choose different scenarios and try them on for size, if you will. This also helps not just on the conscious level, but it also gets that subconscious mind along with the ego to join in and have the experience and to become comfortable. And so that when you do make a decision and you've pinned down the one thing that you are going to decide to do, the one change that you might want to make in your life, maybe you want to change jobs. Maybe you want to change your hair color, allow your gray to come in. Maybe you are looking at two different mates that you want to make a determination of who you want to commit to and live your life with. In the scenarios, you get to try them on for size. You get to explore and experience. And when you do that, you get to tap into your intuition as well. Because your intuition will let you know through your feelings which one is right for you and how it is going to impact your life. And so I just wanted to share that, as well as just kind of demonstrate what I'm doing right now with my hair. And another thing too, I'm revealing more and more about myself with you guys. In my past life, in one of my many past incarnations, if you will, I was in the entertainment industry, not just as a dancer, yes, but also as a hairstylist and a makeup artist. A shout out to Mika Mill, to Mindfield Productions, to Harpo. Yes, I did hair for one of Oprah's companies, and that was a delight back in the day. But because of that, I have the ability to transform my hair at a whim. So I have that skill and that talent to do that for myself, and I think it's pretty cool. I feel grateful for that if I want to, tomorrow I could have purple hair. I could just do whatever I want here. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. And, interested to hear what you think. Do you think that I'm ready? It is an eventuality. It is coming. It is going to happen. But I like it. I think that it looks good on my skin. I think I've earned these wisdom silver hairs, and I think I'm ready to step into them. And then if I decide that I don't want to, I can always step out of them too. But I think I'm ready. So I'm just going to wear this, rock it, experience it, and develop a love for it. Trying it on for size, becoming comfortable with it, knowing that I'm not going to be struck down with lightning because I have silver hair, that I'm not going to fall over in public because I have silver hair, and it doesn't mean that I'm old. It just means that my hair is silver. All right, just some food for thought, and begin to think about areas in your life where you may want to make a change. And you may not even really know what that change is, but you do know that you want something different. Begin to think about the possibilities, because they are infinite, about your other options in life. You're never stuck. You might think that you're stuck. Other people might want you to think that you're stuck because it benefits them that you are stuck. But you are never stuck. Begin to dream. Begin to open your mind to explore the infinite possibilities that are opened up for you. And then you get to decide. In the Psalms, it says that where there is no vision, the people perish. So no stagnation. You got to keep it moving. And you got to keep it real. And your reality is what you make it. Free your mind, and the rest will definitely follow. It has to. Peace and blessings. Until next time.